Hey, this morning we hit 800 subscribers, and this is video number 50. We would like to thank all of you for the great support you have given us. We hope to continue providing you with videos that you can use. So please subscribe, hit that like button, hit that bell to be notified, and keep watching. We really, really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hello, new RVers. You've taken the plunge. You've taken that step. You've bought your first RV. It's probably a 16 to 20 foot, maybe an 18 foot, relatively small RV. But you can't wait until you can do that first camping experience. You want to get out and try it. You want to do just a weekend somewhere nearby. Of course you do. Well, what are the 10 most important items that you should take, or you should have, or just don't go? I have asked around trying to figure out what the 10 most important items that you should have, because not having them could possibly ruin your first little camping experience. Want to find out what they are? Stay tuned. Okay, the first thing you're going to need are wheel chocks. What? Really? Of all the things that could be the first thing, this is the first thing you should make sure you have? Absolutely. Hey, the first time you disconnect your RV from your vehicle and kind of pull away and it starts running kind of downhill, rolling away, you're going to go, golly, I wish I had those wheel chocks on. What you do is you pull up, you level your RV from left to right, and then put the wheel chocks down. That's what you do before you do anything else except for that one little leveling thing. Wheel chocks. Now, these wheel chocks you can buy online. You can buy them all kinds of places for about, I don't know, $5 to $10 or something like that. I stuck them together like this, so I always have both of them together, and I can chalk them down and I can take them out real easy. That's item number one. Item number two, come with me. Item number two, a good spare tire. Notice I didn't just say a spare tire. A spare tire that you know you have faith in. A spare tire that you know how to get off of here, or a spare tire that has a lug wrench with it that not only lets you get it off of here, but lets you take off that flat tire. Your cars or trucks, jack and lug wrench may not fit the trailer. So make sure you have a spare tire and the stuff that goes with it to make sure when you have a flat, you can change it and you can just keep on going. A flat tire won't just ruin your whole trip. This camper didn't come with a spare tire. We had to get one. It cost about $200 for the mount and everything, but make sure you have a spare tire and everything that goes with it, a jack or whatever, and lug wrench that will work with it, okay? Item number three, if you bought your RV at the dealership, chances are it comes with almost everything you need. Probably everything you're gonna need for that first trip. They kind of pride themselves on that. But if you bought it used from someone and it's been sitting out in the field for years and not used, and then they decided to finally sell it, who knows what's gonna be there and what's gonna work and what's not gonna work. Something that you need, absolutely need, and believe it, people take off on their first trips without this, and that is your dump hose, all right? Now, mine is set up here with a system to keep it in here, but you need your sewer dump hose, okay? And come on. There it is, right there. Now, on this particular one, it's stored in the bumper. How handy is that? Make sure you have what you need as far as that goes. Item number four, what goes with the dump hose? Something I don't have on right now. Anytime you touch it, you should have. Make sure you have a box of rubber gloves. That's going to be something you're going to forget, and then when you're hooking this up to drain and doing everything with it, you're going to say, boy, I wish I had some rubber gloves. So that item is the next one on the list, rubber gloves, okay? And let me tell you something. Some people will disagree that I can compress this down into just 10 items that you need. Actually, you're going to need a lot more. I can think of 30 things that you're going to need, but this is 10 things for your first trip. If you don't have, it quite possibly could go badly for your first trip. Or, like I said, a flat tire, you just change tire and keep on going. Things could go bad, and yet you can keep going. But if you don't have this, if you've forgotten to check on it, that's a problem, because you're going to want to dump the contents, if you know what I mean. Let's put this up. For a beginner RV, say something under 20 feet, you're going to need a 30 amp electrical cord. Some RVs that you can buy have them built into the side in a retractable little housing there. You pull them right out and you hook them up. Others, you have to store the cable. Make sure you have one. Make sure you have a 30 amp, and you'll be good to go. Number 6 that you're going to absolutely, positively need on your first camping trip. All right, and that's going to be some type of leveling system, some type leveling blocks, or the kind that rock that you drive up on, or whatever. The first thing you do when you arrive at your campsite is you level the trailer from left to right, and then you can chalk it, remember, and then start working on leveling it from back to front and other things. But the first thing you're going to do is going to be to level it. Now these work by, you make a little stack of them and you drive up on it on one side, make the low side match the high side, that kind of thing. A level of some type, just your regular level like you would use for building a house or something, is kind of handy. You can eyeball it if you want. Some RVs have little levels attached to the sides of them, or the front or the back, just a little bubble or something. But you're going to need to be able to level it. Makes all the difference in the world, left and right. And you need some type of leveling system to do that. That's item number 6, all right? Let's go to item number 7. Next item, that's a necessity, is your potable water hose. You need at least one of these. On my list of things that you're going to need later on is a second one, because you never know. Sometimes they're a little too far away or a little bit too difficult to work, and you're going to need a second one just to make sure. But on that first trip, 99% of the time, this is going to work just fine. You need the potable water hose. You hook it up to your connection, and then you hook it up to one of these two places, depending on what you want to do. If you want to just run off of like city water, then you hook it up to here, and you'll have your own pressure. If you want to fill up your tank, then you put it in here, okay? But you need this hose. If you buy a RV new, surely it comes with it. If not, you can find these everywhere. Walmart's a good place to get one of these. Item number 8 is some type of tool kit. Now this is going to vary from person to person depending on your level of expertise with tools. I know one guy on the internet who carries all kinds of things in his tool box or tool kit that he hasn't got the faintest idea how to work. He's got a multimeter for reading ohms and volts and things like that. You can put on a thing to see if a circuit is working. He says, I'm not an electrician. I have no idea how to work this thing or to read it. But that's the first thing anybody says when I got an electrical problem. Hey, do you have a multimeter or volt ohm meter? Or if I call AAA for help, they will say, well, test that fuse to see if it's by using a volt. Do you have a, and he goes, no, I don't have one. Tell me how to work it. He puts tools in there that electricians, mechanics, and maybe even plumbers know how to work that he has no idea. It's pretty amazing. But that's not something you'll do on your first time. But you need some type of little tool kit. And in it's going to be like a pair of pliers, a couple of screwdrivers, Phillips and flat, maybe a crescent wrench or something like this. Just normal everyday things. This is my tool kit for the back of the vehicle that I use to tow with. I also have tools in a drawer in the RV that has things like some pliers and screwdrivers and a pocket knife and some other things like that. You're going to need that. Some of the things you're going to need in your toolkit include duct tape. Yes, duct tape. A good kind of duct tape. Gorilla duct tape works real well. Here we go. You're going to get hit with the door again. Nope, maybe not. All right. A tire pressure gauge. You're going to have it in your car or in the RV or somewhere. Low tire pressure is dangerous. We got our RV from a dealer, took it on a couple of little trips, and the door keeps hitting my camera person because I haven't installed the friction door hinges yet. Now that's in the next video. But where was I? You need a tire pressure gauge. We were on a couple of trips and I thought, you know what, I wonder. And I checked the tire. My tire pressure on the RV was set at like 32. That's the pressure everybody thinks about that tires should be. And that's just not true anymore. The RV, here comes the door. The RV tires are usually at a more like 60 PSI. We were right in the middle of a trip and I said, man, you know what? Look at this. This isn't right. I need to find a discount tire. And we did. We found a discount tire. They looked at it and they immediately went, oh, we got to top these off. And they aired them up and we were good to go. And that's terrible. Let's see, jumper cables. You need to have jumper cables. I don't care if you have a brand new car, have some jumper cables somewhere in your car, because you've got the really potent, powerful Dodge Ram, and somebody there in some cheap car needs to be jumped. You can be the hero, okay? Don't carry jumper cables for you. Although I had a brand new car, it was really good, and somebody left the lights and the AC and everything on while I was at a doctor's appointment. Came out, it was dead. Because I had cables, though the guy next to me didn't, but we jumped it and took off. You can need them yourself, but I always carry jumper cables just so I can help out somebody else. Jumper cables should go in there, all right? The item number, what is it? That was item number 8. We're at item number 9. Okay, let's be honest. You need a first aid kit, okay? It needs to have Band-Aids, maybe some bug bite treatments, because you are going to get bit by mosquitoes. Some type of analgesic, like ibuprofen, aspirin, Tylenol, stuff like that. Maybe some gauze and 4x4s, or depending on your level of first aid knowledge. Please get a first aid kit. Too many times, you get a blister because you're going on these hikes and stuff, and a Band-Aid would have taken care of that. Item number 10. I've got some, but I'm not going to, or am I? I can do it somewhere here. Extra fuses, okay? You're hooking up a device that uses tons of electricity that, if it's used especially, you don't know how good those circuits are or how good the fuses are. And you're hooking it up to a car that you don't know how well it's going to handle all this extra power either. Get you look at the kind of fuses you have in your car, and maybe in the RV, which are underneath in my case, underneath the bunk, and take some extra fuses. Extra fuses will save your trip, okay? I can't emphasize that enough. Okay, those are the 10 items, and I'm going to post it as a list here in a second. If you don't have these things, don't go until you get them. Now, a lot of people are going to disagree with me. They're going to say things like you need a backup camera or a plug adapter so that you can plug in an extension cord to a friend's place. You can do some friend docking or relative docking or whatever. They're going to talk about you need a water filter. Yeah, you probably do need a water filter, but it's not the thing that's going to just crush and destroy your first time out if you don't have it. You're going to need a let's see, a brake controller, okay? Chances are your new RV, if it's a small one, under 20 feet, it's going to be less than about 4,000 pounds. In some states, you need a brake controller on your car no matter where you are. In some other states, you don't unless it goes over a certain amount or something like that. If you have a good car, strong truck, or something like that, and you're pulling a trailer, a relatively small trailer, you can get by without a brake controller. Should you get one? Absolutely. But it's not going to ruin your very first little trip where you don't go too far away if you don't have one. There's a whole bunch of other things that I could talk about. I can talk about, like I said, easily 30 things that people are going to recommend. Yes, by golly, you need to get. But those aren't the 10 things that if you don't take, you're going to ruin your camping trip. Now, there are 2 bonus things that we do need to talk about that are somewhere between stuff you really want and stuff you probably should get even for your first trip. First thing you should get is ant control stuff, okay? A spray or a powder or something like that. Since I conceived this video, something has happened, and that is an infestation of Argentinian RV ants are taking over campsites all over the South and Southwest. Okay, you pull up to a state park and they tell you flat off going in there, do you have ant killer? Because if you don't, you need to just turn around and go to Walmart or go down here or wherever and get some. You need to pull into your campsite, and everywhere anything touches the ground, your hose, your water hose, your dump hose, your wheels, your chocks, anything has to be sprayed with this ant killer or deterrent, or ants are gonna almost immediately start inhabiting your RV. I've got some gel stuff by Taro that I'm going to put underneath cabinets and things like that, and I'm going to stick them to the floor and leave them there forever. And I've also got stuff to spray around the wheels and places. Anything that touches the ground, you need to spray, or you're going to come back from a hike or the next day, or when you get ready to leave, you're going to realize you have ants everywhere. These are kind of like a big version of those black sugar ants you might see sometimes, even in your house, that nobody likes, but they're a bigger version of it, and they are on the march. And so that's something that goes in the 10 list, maybe. That's a maybe you should have. I haven't had a chance to check it all out yet, but everybody's talking about it. I know people have gone through it. And then the last thing that's kind of a little bonus thing you should have is bacon. Okay? One of the fun things there is to do when you're out at a campsite is cook. And one of the favorite things there is to cook or to smell is bacon. Bring some bacon with you and put in the refrigerator and cook breakfast your first morning there. It will fill the air. The other people will be cooking their bacon and their breakfast stuff, and the whole campground will smell great. And the people who didn't bring bacon will be sad. Okay? And so bring bacon for those people who want to smell it, and bring it for the people who wish they had their own. Okay, so that's one of the fun things to do, is making breakfast out at the campsite. So bring some bacon. All right, and with that, that's the 10 items you need to have before you take off and go on your very first trip. If you don't have these 10 items, don't go till you do. All right, I promise. And then a couple little bonus items. The ant thing is a real serious problem right now, and I'm hearing more and more people talk about it. But the bacon, come on, it's bacon. Who doesn't like bacon? Get out there, have fun, go camping, enjoy your first RV. You're going to love it, and you're going to immediately think, you know what? Let's get a bigger one. Okay, so with that, thanks so very much for joining. All right, don't forget to subscribe and click the like button. And I need to sign off here now because my camera person looks like she's about to sneeze. No, it's a cough. There we go. Thanks a lot. Don't forget to subscribe.